Hello, beloveds. I am so honored, excited, and happy to welcome the beautiful Louise. Welcome, Louise. So happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. I'm really excited for this. So, yeah, it just feels like talking with a friend.
Oh, and it totally is. It totally is. The second I met you, it's like, I love you. I know I love you. So, Louise is an incredible Feng Shui expert, and I'm really excited today to have her share her story. So, Louise, I'm going to hand the baton over to you. And basically, first of all, we'd love to hear about your journey. What got you into Feng Shui?
Absolutely. It feels like it was kind of a lifetime, and then lots of things kind of jumped in, and I ended off going on this path and this path. And then finally, I feel like I'm home again. So, um, yeah, I mean, when I was really little, my mum got me a book on feng shui. It's quite a basic one, but it was kind of, make sure your toilet seat's down and make sure you don't have the pictures behind the bed, but lots of pictures. It was child friendly,
I
and
love that.
honestly, it's amazing. And annoyingly, I don't have it anymore, and I'm searching for it now because I really want to have it in my space as like this starting
Absolutely.
point. And I used to run around the house and like tell everyone off for not putting the toilet lid down and stuff. And then life kind of moved on. But I think other things were happening. Like my nan, bless her, was amazing. She grew up through the two wars. And so she had become quite a hoarder of things. So she had, I mean, Pampers boxes from just the boxes, not anything else. But from when we were babies and we were well into our like late teens, kind of 18, 19. So she just kept things and really disliked throwing anything away. So I was kind of aware of environments and feeling not so good in certain environments. And then my aunt on the other side had the most amazing house, and she's super creative, and she definitely could have been an interior designer or artist, or and how good I felt in her space. So I suppose from an early age I was kind of understanding that I felt good in certain spaces, not in others. And then the book kind of was giving me a bit of knowledge on, like I said, not having pictures above your bed and stuff like that. And then, you get on with life. I went through college and did a few different jobs. I did fashion design for a little while, and then got into PR and marketing for a very long time. And which was amazing. It was wonderful. And it's definitely given me I think everything you do in life, you take forward. So all those skills you can still bring into the next part of your life. And, I had wonderful experiences. I worked with the best team. Little Light PR were phenomenal, and I'm still in contact with them. The founder is one of my absolute best friends. So it's lovely. But I found that during COVID, for me, work got busier. So all of the businesses we worked with closed, and then we got busier because we were helping everyone. But it also gave me space to start thinking, how am I actually feeling? And I was completely overwhelmed, completely stressed. It was almost like I was living a dress rehearsal rather than living my life, and making sure everyone else was okay. And in PR, you spend your life making sure everyone you work with, the wider journalists and the brands, and everyone is okay and has everything they need, which is wonderful. But I found that I wasn't then taking that care of myself. And I felt like I was banging my head against a wall. And I'd also done some interior design as well, because apparently I just like to make myself really busy. But again, that wasn't really, I wasn't feeling fulfilled, because it was lovely, but it wasn't quite, I suppose I didn't feel at home. Mm. And then um, I suppose I started listening to myself again, to my intuition, which I had not done. I had ignored all of that. And I kept seeing feng shui everywhere. So there was a book club. There was a book club I was, yeah, exactly. So I was going to join a book club, and for some reason I didn't join it, but they were advertising the next book they were going to do everything on was all about Feng Shui. And then I walked in bookstores and I would see Feng Shui books. And it's not something that I was noticing before. And then I was walking into houses or spaces and suddenly I was like, I feel good here. I don't feel good here. Why am I tuning into something? And so I went on a bit of a search on Feng Shui, and randomly, I never look at YouTube on my television, but I did this day. And I thought, I'll just put in Feng Shui courses. And this YouTube short came up, and it was with one of your ex-students. And she spoke for probably, I don't know, 30 seconds. It wasn't long. And I was like, that's what I need to do. I need to go and find Amanda. And that was it.
Chills. That's amazing. Wow.
And
I'm coming on your TV. I'm coming to your stores. I'm coming to your bedroom. I'm coming everywhere. You're not listening. Here, I'm kind of right here on your TV.
exactly. It was literally that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. And I love everything you shared. Like, as a little girl, just, I mean, the book was right there. It's been there all along. Like, how incredible that you go around the house, put the toilet down, do it. I love that. And then also just that's incredible to have that awareness. And, my heart goes out, like, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about that, but like clutter, I mean, for some of us, it's just like, yep, clear it out. And for some people, it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot let go of that box. I may need that box. And that's really scary. And that brings up so much. And like I have so much compassion and understanding for that. But then when you get to experience something like your aunt's house, that is just exuding joy and creativity and listening to your highest self, like what feels good, how even as a little girl, you're able to go, feels amazing. Even though I love my grandmother, it doesn't feel good in there, And isn't that incredible? Because we spend up to 80% of the time inside, that the impact that the way the home is laid out, the way it's set up, everything has such a huge impact. Right. And you even noticed that as a little girl. And were you able to put the dots together and go, at that time where you weren't feeling great, was it that realization of the clutter? Or was it just, I know I don't feel good and I feel.
Yeah, I think that it was definitely, I knew that the environment wasn't feeling as light and comfortable. I didn't feel as comfortable. So I think that I'd always want to sit in my nan's garden. My nan had the most amazing garden. I mean, it was the length of 3 houses. I don't know how, it probably doesn't even exist, that garden anymore. And she had orchards, and so it was phenomenal. So I could spend a lot of time outside.
Yeah, and so your connection to nature was there as well. And
oh God,
realizing, because an important part of Feng Shui is bringing nature inside plants. We got it going on, sister. Oh, that's incredible. Okay, so you're there, the TV, got the download. I'm going for it. Tell us what happened next.
Yeah, so I mean, it happened really quickly because I obviously found your website. I mean, I literally, and your website is amazing, but I'd kind of made up my mind already. I was just like, I know someone's telling me, so I'm just going to go with this. I asked for the 15-minute call with you,
Yeah.
and I think 5 seconds in, I was like, yeah, I'm here. Like, yeah, I'm in. And I say this to quite a few people. There are certain people in the world where, I mean, we've always spoken online, but I leave your presence feeling so good, but so balanced and like a reset and energized. And and I really felt that from that first phone call. It's just, I know that this is going to be wonderful. And I've done quite a few different education pieces, like with the interior design. And again, a wonderful, wonderful mentor. She was brilliant. But there was something about your energy that I was just like, yeah, okay, I know this is what I'm supposed to do. And I feel amazing about doing it. So
Oh, I love that.
cool.
And you, like, knowing and loving you, you really strikes me as somebody who's like super clear and then follows through when you're super clear, but won't rush to make decisions unless it's like, okay, this on every level. We know how that works, right? Like the mind, okay, the mind can guide us one way, but it's like the heart, the soul, the gut, it's like, boom, yes, this is it. Okay, I got it. I got it. The rest of
Absolutely.
your formality, like, let's have the call. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in. The answer was yes. I said yes and hello.
Exactly. But
I,
it felt that feels right. And I mean, I'm the type of person that my friends will laugh. I If I make a purchase, I've thought about it for like months and I've looked at it. I mean, not an easy purchase,
yeah,
but if
yeah.
I buy a pair of shoes or a car or something like that, I spend time thinking about it until it feels really right. But it just felt really right quickly with you, and I think that's what I've understood with myself is I'll use the logic and I'll think about things, but if it doesn't feel good, and that's got stronger through doing the course with you actually, because I've come back to myself quite a bit through the course, and because you talk about the external feng shui, which is obviously the environment and the space you're in, but also the internal feng shui, which is your feelings, what you need in life, and paying attention to your gut and what your body is telling you, and that's become stronger. But I think I'd always been doing that with purchases and bigger decisions, but not realizing it, going through completely in like a dream world or like something's over me. Whereas now I'm aware.
It's a real conscious process, a conscious decision. It's mindful, body, mind, spirit, soul alignment. I love that. So I'm really excited. So you got the full yes. So I'd love to hear now, because I know, we both know, you work with lots of clients, you're teaching workshops, you're doing all sorts of amazing stuff, which I can't wait to get into. But I want to back up to, okay, you knew yes. And then you've talked a little bit about the internal process of feng shui as well as the external. So how was it for you personally? Because, there's, when you go through the training, there's the first, like, we've got to walk our talk, right? So there's the first step of, it's kind of like you're doing three things. You're learning something brand new, right? Or remembering something ancient. You're feng shuiing your own home and life. And then you're starting up a business, or you're integrating it into a present business. So tell us about the first step of the learning process and integrating into your own home and life.
Yeah, so I did both courses with you. So I signed up for the it's feng shuiing your home, isn't it? And then it's the business course. So and I love that you did that as well, because you're exactly right. You have to walk the walk. And how can you understand the changes that feng shui does until you've actually done it in your space? And I mean, I adored it. I loved every second of it. I thought the flying stars section was going to scare me. It didn't. It was so clear the way you explained it. It felt like you could run with it. And I also love that you have the community where you can go back and kind of check as well and say, oh, is that right? Did I get that bit right? And which is such a nice kind of, it feels safe. Everything about the course feels safe, which is not the case with a lot of courses. A lot of courses, it's just about, ticking boxes and then you kind of go out into the world. Whereas there's always that safety. So I did both, and I did the feng shui within my home, and I realized that some things I was doing intuitively, and other things I was like, "Wow, Louise, that's wildly, get that out of your space right now," i.e., faux flowers. Get the real flowers
Can
in.
I just share a real funny epiphany? Or actually, I was laughing in the shower this morning thinking, I've got to share this. But when, the way we bring feng shui into our own home and our lives, and, we're like, I'm rocking, I know what I'm doing. But then you're like, oh my gosh, I have my own blind spots, even if I've been doing this like 25 years. But this funny story, because I was ready to come into a relationship. Well, getting ready. So I started kind of feng shuiing my home, my bedroom, and I put up this gorgeous. I've been horse crazy since been riding since I was 2, right? I've had horses growing up. So I put up this incredibly beautiful, I think it was like 4 foot by 4 foot painting of these two beautiful horses, right? So about a year and a half later, my mom, who's funny, she's spunky, she said to me, I said to her, "Oh, I haven't, met anybody or whatever." And she was just like, "Well, what do you got?" But she said to me, "Well, what do you expect? You have this 4 foot by 4 foot picture of two horses. But guess what I had in my backyard? Two horses."
Two horses.
So yeah, I was like feng shui, the horses were, I just bought, I had this big
Just
ring
put them in.
and this little pony, so I brought them in, not exactly what it was my mom, who, doesn't practice feng shui, who's like, "What do you expect? You have two horses, 4 foot
Yeah.
by bedroom." So I had to share that. I was cracking up because I'm preparing for, the feng shui for alchemy, love alchemy class. So I was like, I got to share that because that is just comical,
That's amazing.
like, and so even practicing 25 years, I can still,
It's still, yeah, absolutely. And
the
I think
power
that's,
of feng shui when it's done right, and the power of feng shui maybe when it's not exactly accurate,
yeah,
but bring in two horses.
yeah, yeah. That's amazing though, but you love those horses.
I love those horses, but it wasn't go for it.
Yeah, it's not quite the one.
Anyway, took down the horses, put up the right stuff, success in that department. But anyway, so,
Oh, I'm so happy for you as well. That's
thank you.
awesome. Powerful, isn't it? It's so powerful. And um, for me, really understanding the how much nature is involved in the feng shui, even the remedies that you will bring in to your space are all elements. It's all nature. That speaks to my soul. I just was in love with it. So yeah, and it did. My life did change. I definitely saw lots of um, things change, particularly for me with money. And what I realized through during doing the course with you is that our home has a challenge with money. So being able to put that remedy in, it was particularly, we were in a 2 year, it was a 1 year lock, but we ended up having a second 1 year lock.
Yeah, I know what you
Um,
maybe
yeah,
lots of listeners do, and that's definitely something deeper into the classical flying stars to understand that a house can go into either a people lock, which can be relationships and health, or it can go into financial lock, which can bring financial challenges. But the beauty of feng shui is everything is remediable. That's what I love about it. It's so empowering, right? It like knowledge is power. So we find out we have these imbalances in the space, and then we have the tools to rebalance. I love that.
and I have to say to you, that's what really spoke to me as well. Like even with other things I've done, like say with the interior design, often you'd be saying to people, "Oh yeah, you could do that, but that might cost you £30,000, or that might cost you 20,000." And with feng shui, it's such a beautiful remedy that's so empowering that you can bring into your space that doesn't cost you anywhere near that, um, and your life can change and transform. And that feels, like you said, so empowering. It's a lovely practice.
I love that. So I didn't know, I don't know if I knew to that extent, that the home opened up then to prosperity and brought more flow. And so that's amazing. I love to hear that. Love to hear that.
Absolutely. And we're just out of the yeah, because we've just in February, that's when the energies change over with feng shui. So we're just out
That's
of it.
brilliant. And do you notice the shift? Do you notice?
Totally. I mean, I've done all of I've done the space clearing. I've put all the new remedies out. So we've had just trickles of things just come in. Bills that we were kind of contesting and stuff. Suddenly they've just halved or gone.
Wow.
It's miraculous. It honestly is.
That's the amazing thing about feng shui. You hear people say, "Oh yeah, you did the consultation," and then literally the next day checks started coming in, tax refunds we didn't know we were going to get, this, that. And it's like, it's all energy. Everything is energy. And when you understand how to work with those energies internally and externally, it's like we just have to get out of the way and allow the alchemy and miracles to start happening, right?
Absolutely. And it's not even hard. Like you might take some time looking for remedies that you love in your space, or understanding where to put it. but it just flows. It doesn't feel sticky or challenging. It just feels very supportive,
Mm, I love
which
that.
is so nice.
That's
And
a,
I tell you something just while we're talking on the money. One of the biggest things that I've had feedback from with clients is when they've cleaned their ovens and
ah,
they've kind of got over financial blockages. So it's
good.
kind of the health of your
Everyone
finances.
get scrubbing those ovens.
That's
And
it.
the other one that's huge is nothing broken in the oven, because it represents the fire and the abundance and the passion. And then if there's a ring, let's say there's 4 rings and one of them's broken, you're operating on three quarter. If 2 of them are broken, you're operating only on half your life force of abundance. I love that. Ooh, that's a great tip. I think I gotta get my oven. I'll be back.
I know, same here. Same here. But one guy, some people have had it where again the bills have just, or one girl, their childcare, it was really really high, and suddenly someone came in and it was nothing or halved. Another person had a dream about their finances and how they could get themselves out of a financial difficulty, and then they followed the steps that they dreamt, and then
Well, and this is all after you did the Feng Shui.
yeah,
That's amazing. I
it's
love
amazing, isn't it?
it. Is
But
it
it's
is absolutely
always
incredible. It's incredible. I always tell people it's like this incredible gift that is working for you 24/7, is working for you when you're sleeping. Like I'm in my office right now. I feel like my office is giving me a hug. I feel supported. I feel loved. I feel like it's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this gift. So I love that. Okay. So back to your okay. So abundance, prosperity, financial improvement was one. Well, two is really, and I think this is the greatest gift, your intuition, that connection with your soul, that communion with your soul, that higher guidance. Like that's huge, because then that serves every single area of your life, your relationship, your health, because you're listening, right, to your body, to your soul, finances. So tell us more about your personal, and I love hearing, because I love hearing about your personal experience. And then what I'm hearing from you, and which I usually do hear, is the shifts that you have, like which were financial, which you shared so far, your clients are having them because you embody that vibration of knowing and believing and experiencing that shift from working with it in your environment. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah, and you kind of attract those people to you because you've had that experience, haven't you? So it's like they come to you for that. Yeah, and it felt, and also going into the course, that was kind of my sticking point. If I'd gone through my wheel of life, that was the kind of area with the career, because I was unsure of what to do at that point. Um, Obviously, going through that course, I was then like, I need to be a feng shui consultant. So that's why I then went on to the second part of the course with Amanda. But yeah, it for me. It was particularly the financial shift. But I think as I go through it, and I suppose as you get clearer with yourself, I've probably had quite a few health things that have changed. Like my asthma had become quite strong, whereas now that's clearing. But also, when you start to listen to yourself, you start to make better decisions. So um, we're not on diets at all, but we eat a lot less UPFs, have less
Healthier.
caffeine. Yeah. So I think as you start to look after your environment and you start to understand yourself better, you make better decisions as well. So I think lots of life areas were improving, but I suppose the more shocking one was the finances.
I love, well, but I love that with the health. That's so huge. And just for all our listeners, and the way we kind of look at things in feng shui, right? So that's amazing with your asthma, that you're breathing better. And I suppose it comes back to, we're talking about the air, the chi, right? The life force is better. Therefore, like we're taking fuller breaths. If we're more connected to our body, we're breathing deeper. So therefore expands the lung capacity. Lung, as we look at it, is relationship with grief. Maybe there was, grieving, releasing, connection to our own emotional body, spiritual, energetic body, right? And then in feng shui, we look at the lungs are very much so related with the northwest corner of the home, or when we look at the flying stars, the number 6. So as you go through your home, what you did and started remedying the northwest area, which is to do with the lungs and breath and breathing and life force, and you look at those number 6s, not to confuse people on the podcast, but just enough to understand, like when we start to bring an awareness to these things, we start remedying them and balancing them, how then that directly affects our health and well-being. And then I love that, just like a healthy rebalance of what, when we're more connected to ourselves, what feels good in our body. And everything is always raising the frequency and the vibration as we do. It's like this inward outward dance, right? Because as we raise our own frequency internally, if the home feels lower, we need to lift it up. Then if the home is higher and we're like, oh, the home, it lifts you up. So there's this beautiful like exchange of energy, this like soul agreement. So I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that truly is what happened, because the environment was feeling so amazing that we were like, okay, we can do that. And one of the things you'd spoken about is being intentional with your space. So we had a spare bedroom that we had a bed in for people that stayed once a year. So, so now we have the permanent yoga mats out, so we can,
Oh,
have the So I have the meditation area and yoga, and Gary does that with me as well, which is phenomenal because it's not something that he was particularly aligned with before. So he's seen the benefits of those things. So yeah, I mean, of course, had such a big effect, because not only was it my home and my inner feng shui, but then going through the business side as well and starting up a whole business, which
we're going to
it's
get to that. We're going to get to that in a minute.
yeah.
But just when it comes to, I think that's so beautiful because we talk about all the time. And it kind of comes back to the beginning of your sharing. You're in a job where you're giving, 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 lost that connection to what you need. And then your home was reflecting that. A bedroom, like a whole extra bedroom, which is huge real estate, right? Like that has had a bed in it for the visitors to come once a year, once a year. And so now it's like, okay, well, we get to meditate, we get to do yoga, we get to do it together. So that's health, that's love and relationship, that's connection with spirit and source, our own body. Like I love that. So when we bring that mindfulness to, I need to kind of fill up my own cup first, and I need to love myself, and I need to have healthy boundaries, and even sometimes with ourselves, right?
Mm.
Love that you created that space for you and Gary. And then I love that he's like, "Ooh, I like this stuff. This feng shui stuff's good."
Yeah, honestly. And he I'll come to that later, but he will often tell people about it before I do. So we'll meet people and he's like, "Oh, Louise does feng shui. You should," or I'll hear him on the phone to his friends, and he'll have brought up something that has probably come through the course that I've mentioned to him. And he's like, "Oh, guys, but why don't you think about it like this?" Which is phenomenal, really, isn't it?
That's so, may I say, because I already know, just I can feel it, that you guys have a strong, beautiful, deeply loving, healthy relationship. But do you feel like the feng shui has heightened it even more, or?
God, yes. Yeah, we were always really good at communicating with each other, but and we have a lot of fun. We're best friends as well. Been together nearly 20 years now.
Wow, that's
So it's a
amazing.
long time. Um, but yeah, I think it's brought us closer, actually, which is it's not the thing that I probably went into feng shui thinking would happen or was even necessary, but we feel much more of a unit. And I think that the home's supporting us through that. A lot's happened. Both of his parents passed away just before I started doing the course, and then my dad passed away just as I was finishing doing the course with you. And we went through a lot of, and I don't think how you're going to be with someone until you face those really difficult moments. And we were just absolutely there for each other. And I think through doing the feng shui, maybe understanding myself more as well really helped, because I think I had a lot of actual personal money blocks
Yeah, yeah.
from things that happened in childhood, and my parents went through certain financial issues. So then I had a real thing about money and having to work hard to make money. And it's another thing I kind of worked out through the course, is that I don't need to do that, and I can just attract it in a really loving way. But I was pushing that on the relationship for quite a while, and it was nice to then, through understanding myself better, take that pressure off, because I was unintentionally putting that pressure on Gary at the same time, which was completely wrong. And Gary is element wise is earth. He's a number 2 earth, which I think is the same as you, Amanda, isn't it? Yeah. So we within feng shui you have elements that you kind of embody, and I am a number 6 metal.
Yeah, like things
So
of life, like quality, luxury.
yeah, and kind of CEO kind of action. And Gary is this lovely, intuitive. And I think that what's really nice is that we complement each other so well, and we can bring each other up in certain sides, and he'll help me kind of mellow and listen to my intuition a little bit more, which is so lovely because we're kind of the opposites. I'm like the most yang male, and he's the most feminine kind of yin on the energy sides. Yeah. So I think understanding that about you, and that gave me so much more clarity on, I actually remember doing the course and going through the elements with you, Amanda, and hearing I was a number 6 metal. And I was like, no, I don't want to be a. But when I started looking into it, I was like, oh, no, you are. Every job I've had, they've quickly moved me into management
Wow.
or
Yeah. Major
higher.
leadership. Major leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I didn't realize that. I just thought, oh, that's what's happened. That was my journey. But actually, it's something that I'm giving off energetically that I can help
Absolutely.
it.
But I
Yeah,
love that you're bringing this up because the thing is, part of our journey of self-love and wholeness is full acceptance of knowing ourselves, that journey of self-realization, right? And so how powerful for you at first to go, oh no, no, I'm not that. And then to be actually like, I am. And look at me go. And look how powerful this is. And here's parts of myself that I could allow to open and invite more in. And also recognize the yin yang sacred union dance within yourself, and then how that happens in partnership. So that's so powerful, so powerful.
yeah. And I think yeah, it was interesting because it kind of explained my journey a little bit. That I was a young girl, much more intuitive, much more in tune with probably my higher self. Then my kind of CEO number 6 metal comes in, and I go down this reel, and then I've come back to being much more intuitive, and I feel like I'm now in alignment. I'm in the divine side of the 6 metal, rather than, I think before, particularly when I was in the PR, I was kind of out of sync with the metal. Maybe there was too much metal going on, and that was causing some of it.
Yeah, because it's the celestial number, it's the heavenly number, it's the divine number, energy, shall we say, versus number. And I love that you are fully aligned with that. And
Mm.
that's beautiful.
And
Woo.
that's from the course. I would not have, I fully believe, well, I don't know, maybe something would have come in at some point that like do that, or, but this course has given me that. I would not have been able to find that out about myself without going through this with you, which is amazing.
That's incredible. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this conversation so much because, you've shared little bits and bobs, throughout the course, but this is
Mm.
like, you see,
Yeah.
and powerful and gorgeous and just, I don't know, it just makes me so happy to hear. So thank you for sharing. And I love how you've been piecing all like, and just to also reflect back to you. This is all you. This is all your conscious choices, all your conscious awareness. This is you that's made all the changes, the realizations, the shifts, the awakenings, the healings, letting go of old patterns, old thought forms. Like that's all you. But you're like, oh, here's some knowledge and information to help me with that. But you've
Mm.
done it all. So I just kind of really want to reflect that back to you, your higher knowing. I need to take that. It's like that's when it really drops in and we go, that is going to give me tools to go to where I need to go next. I know
Mm.
I feel it in every cell of my being. So I love that. I love that. Okay, so we've got an amazing picture now of like your journey and how powerful that's been. And now I know that you're doing all sorts of amazing things. Like because you're just so beautiful, you're so authentic, so real, so powerful, so divine, right? Um, tell us a little bit about, because you went from PR and I think it was more of a firm they're working for. So how was it then going out, creating your own business, your own, like, and I know you've got that strong leadership and you're confident and you know who you are and you really way that you had that knowledge really embodied, right? To getting started in your business. Like I witnessed all that with you. But tell us about what came up for you when you're like, now I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to step out in the world as a Feng Shui expert. What came up for you, how that was for you. And then I know you're doing lots of cool stuff, which I'd love for you to share after, but let's go to that next.
Yeah. So I think for anyone I was with a firm with the PR and marketing, and then I did go freelance, but it was with someone that I'd worked with a really long time, and I was freelancing into them. So it wasn't my business, although it felt like my baby a little bit because it was my friend and I wanted it to work so well for her. But yeah, it wasn't the kind of scary side of business where suddenly you're like, oh my God, I'm doing something and I'm going to offer services to people. And you want that to work well for them and for them to enjoy the experience and, setting up a website and all of that stuff. So, and even having, I did have an accountant. So I think there were little bits that I'd already had. And I think I had some really good mentors around me within life that had set up their kind of businesses as well. So that was helpful. But yeah, actually doing that yourself is scary. And I sort of done it with the interior design, but it didn't really take off for me. And I know why that is now, because I needed to go on this journey and find this soul path. But it was good experiencing setting things up. So then when it came to doing that with Blossom,
and
it
just
worked.
to bring your words back to you, which I completely resonate with from the beginning. You were like, it's all everything up until now that I've done that leads up into who you are and how you're offering it, right? Because wow, yeah, studying as interior design, well, that's incredible to integrate that with Feng Shui, like amazing, right? Starting up your own business, so already understanding the accounting flow, PR, so you already understand PR and marketing, amazing, right? Customer service, like interacting with people in that way. And then your experience as is in PR and all that you've done and all your life experiences up until a little girl when you had your Feng Shui book and it went to your grand's house and your aunt's, yeah, it's like you come in with all of that. And and I always say, everyone that comes through the Feng Shui training, you've taken the exact same studies, but what you come from, who you are, your soul, your heart is your unique, very unique offering. So I love that. So, okay, so you've had some experience in starting a business, so it wasn't as daunting in a way. So, okay, so tell us more then.
Yeah, so it wasn't as daunting, but then in a way, so it was a slightly different daunting because suddenly I really loved something. And then it was like, I really need this to, I need this to kind of live its life and work. So the fear kind of came in there. But I think that through working with you, there are so many things that you can kind of put in place I just think, just say yes. Just kind of feel that bit of fear and just go for it, and you'll find a way. And I think in a way that certain situations are easier. I had to do a lot of presenting when I was working in marketing, so it's still scary, but it's not brand new. So then when you're going into those situations, you can recall certain other things that you've done and think, well, that went well, so this is fine, don't worry, you can do it. So yeah, I think that was helpful. But yeah, setting up it, I suppose it just felt really right, and I couldn't not what am I trying to say, I couldn't not honor it. And I think that's the thing. I needed to honor this ancient practice because I know it works and I know it's going to help people. So that kind of sits behind it all. And the fact that it adds in nature, and I have a dog, I know you have dogs as well. So we're outside all the time and it's wonderful. But being able to bring that in as well, it just encompasses, I think, everything that I love. And I love helping people. I love that. So I can only see that becoming more, however that happens. I'll have a download at some point from somewhere or look at YouTube on my TV again.
I do recall right now, and then please correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you at the dog park and you met a woman. Am I right?
You're
Okay.
totally right. Yeah, another synchronicity.
So, like you've had a lot, like because you've been doing amazing things with your business, and you're just so gifted at it, and you're so meant to be doing it that it's just in divine flow, right? But I do remember. Will you tell us about the dog park?
Absolutely, absolutely. It involves Gary again as well.
Hello, Gary. Thanks, Gary.
We were walking, we live near the River Thames in Surrey. So we were walking along on a dog walk with our dog, and we saw this lady with this beautiful Australian sheepdog that just, his name's Bodhi, and he's wonderful. And so we just got chatting, as you do as anyone who has dogs, that you just kind of become part of the club and everyone talks to each other, and the dog's name, but you never know the dog walker's name, and that's fine. That's totally accepted. But we and it was Gary. Gary went over to her because he was just obsessed with her dog. We chatted for a minute or two, met the dog, and then carried on the conversation of, oh, so what do you do? And she said that she ran this wellness program, this Thrive for Life with Lloyd's Bank. So it's huge, huge. They do a whole kind of program of different avenues, and they have surgeons come in and talk to the teams, and then wellness people. So it's massive. And Gary kind of looked at me as if to say, are you going to say that you do this? And actually, when we met her, I hadn't fully qualified yet. So it was a real moment because, I know I love it and I'm on the course and I want to graduate, but I haven't graduated yet. So are you going to step through the door and tell her, or are you going to get scared? So I kind of just said, oh yeah, I do Feng Shui. I'm a consultant. And then I did say to her, I'm just finishing through. So I was honest, but she just said, as soon as you've got yourself together, give me a call and let's have a chat. And actually we met, we had a great coffee, and then I've done a presentation in-house with them. I've done an online presentation with them. I recorded some tips for their a program they're bringing out on sleep. So from the one dog walking meeting, yeah. So many.
I mean, that's a reflection, an outward reflection of you being in inner alignment, right? And synchronicities, and and synchronicity being in the right time, one of the things I say when I wake up in the morning is, okay, spirit, like I'm here to be of service. Show me here, where, who, how to show up, and that's it. Okay, I'll go with the dog. Gary, I love that he's your advocate. He's now your PR.
He's now my PR, yes.
PR guy. AKA Gary.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. But that's just like total divine mind. And look at all the amazing stuff you're doing with them. Like, that's incredible. Incredible. Totally inspirational to hear this. So, I love this. This is amazing. And but not negate the fact that yes, synchronicity, but it's you've put in the work, you have done the work, you carry on doing the work, you consciously move through life now with that awareness. And I also respect and admire your integrity and authenticity to be like, is it the time that I tell her? And yeah, you're like, yes, actually I practice Feng Shui. And you already knew your heart and your soul, you're fully invested on every level. And you're like, but I'm just finishing. And she's like, cool, as soon as you're done. So you feel of complete integrity. And I honor that. And I also honor that you were like, this is like a true soul's calling. So I'm gonna, and it's in those moments, right? Like where we, like you said, just say yes, even if it's scary, even if, it's, you feel that way, you say yes anyway, and you say, this is where I'm at. And then if there is that synchronistic alignment.
Yeah, exactly that. If it's meant to be, it will happen. And I think that's it. I will always want to work in integrity. And I think anyone who does Feng Shui feels that way. It's just within us, isn't it? And it allows that person to make the choice from their side as well. And what was lovely is that she was really happy about that. So it worked brilliantly. And exactly that. I think you can take all the knowledge, you can do everything. The universe can come in and give you these opportunities, and then it's up to you to either walk through the door or not. And you'll know
Absolutely.
yeah. And you'll know if it's a fear because it's unsafe, or you're definitely not ready, or if it's a fear because, you're worried about like imposter syndrome or something like that.
And then there are
Especially,
things you just have to work through regardless,
yeah,
the imposter syndrome, like, am I good enough? What should really be this person? Blah, blah, blah. Those old stories that we tell ourselves. But the thing is, the way you said, like, you've released that old paradigm of gotta work hard, gotta force, right? But there's this beautiful balance of I'm willing to show up, I'm willing to do the inner work, I'm willing to bring my inner environment into balance, my outer environment into balance, bring my life into harmony, right? I'm gonna be at the dog park. But then, like, there was still a load of choices, even after you telling her, yes, I'll contact you. So you had to contact her, you had to go meet her for tea. But then she has reached out to you and been like, hey, I need you to do an online segment for better sleep. Now, again, that's another moment. Now, we're not talking about hard work, but like, this is joy. Oh my gosh, to come up with all the incredible things that people do in their home to sleep really well and how amazing that makes us feel in our lives. Like, it still involved you to keep taking steps, to keep showing up, to keep putting your best self forward, to do the work, to do the knowledge, put together a beautiful presentation. So, but when we're in soul alignment, it's not work, it's joy. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like,
yeah,
it's so fun. Like, I love, like, it's like, oh my God, I get to meet Louise today. We get to chat Feng Shui and everything beautiful. Oh my gosh, like, work that.
exactly. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's right because it's not hard. It just flows.
I
It's
know.
a lovely. I think you're exactly right. The way you've just explained that is to a T. That's how it feels.
Mm, I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, you're amazing, amazing, amazing. So you've been having fun doing all these, meeting these people and doing these incredible classes, workshops, online, in-person events, right?
Yes, yeah. I've done a couple of podcasts with different people as well, and the fact that I've done PR for a very long time, I've written quotes for magazines a lot, but they've always been for other people or brands. Or whereas I actually got my first set of quotes in a magazine, Hairdresser's Journal, which is a big magazine
In which one?
it's Hairdresser's Journal magazine. So it's over 100 years old in England. So I got my first set of quotes in there for feng shuiing a salon, but it was me, which was so exciting. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Oh my gosh, love, I am celebrating you and I'm celebrating like the overwhelming what I'm hearing is you want to be of service and transform people's lives and help people, one, by showing up and being inspiration, just who you are, and then two, by what you bring forth and the knowledge and all the sharing and the embodiment and knowing what feng shui has done in your life and wanting to kind of share that. I love that so much. So, okay, for everybody listening who's like, oh my gosh, like I wonder how much she's having.
Yeah.
What are like three things that you could suggest for everybody to go do in their homes that is simple, that is non-expensive, but creates big shifts?
Okay, definitely the oven.
Yes, okay. I
The
already
oven.
got that one. No, we already know. You got to give us
Oh, you've
three.
got that one. Okay, so we gotta have that one. Okay.
Well checked at
Ah,
the beginning.
I tell you ones that did make a big difference. Fixing the light bulbs. If you've got any light bulbs that are broken, go fix them today, because I guarantee that you are feeling burnt out. Because when I was at my most burnt out, we had lots of lights that had gone out, and the house was telling me to really focus on getting myself not overwhelmed, not burnt out. So I mean, anything that needs fixing is good to do in feng shui, but from my own um, life experience, yeah, changing the light bulbs, huge. That's not hard. That's just you know take a tiny bit of time and you will feel completely different. What else would I suggest? Opening the windows, that's always an amazing one, and it's free, and you can just do that right now and just get loads of fresh energy and fresh air into your space, and that's just great for your health in general, but you will be bringing in that fresh energy with it as well, which makes a massive difference. What else would I say? If you have both flowers or dried flowers, it's quite a good one to get out of your space. That can bring in quite a kind of dead energy within. And also it's so wonderful to be around, you know, live plants. They bring so much energy into your space that, you know, will help every space in your home. So yeah, bringing that nature in would be a strong one to do. And again, it's not particularly expensive, and they're just fun looking at those colors, and yeah.
I love that. And so what is kind of like, what's next? What is brewing, or what's your vision, or where you wanted to go? What's next?
Yeah, so when I really reflect on um how I'm feeling within the space, I think I'm quite good at inspiring people. So I definitely want to do some more in-person events, just because I think it just kind of flows. And I think there's a really nice energy exchange when you're actually in person. And the online is great, you know, it's opened so many doors, but I think the more you can be with people, the better. And yeah, expanding. I mean, I've been looking at apps and stuff as well. So maybe something like that, but that feels quite big. So that's
Well,
very
you know, my thought is like, oh, I look forward to hearing about all her in-person events, and I look forward to seeing her out. It already is happening. It's like it is. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you, love. And then what is one big practice that you do every day that really helps you stay in balance?
Oh God, meditation. Easy. Meditation. It's helped me no end. And it's something I was always open to, but I just found reasons not to do it, you know. I'll go and put the wash on. Yeah, whereas now I honor it. I honor that time with myself. And I've done quite a few of the meditations with you, like the Kundalini one.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was unbelievable. I mean, you prefaced it with you might bring up some emotion and stuff. And I remember messaging you and just being like, I bawled my eyes out for like 30 seconds. And then I was like completely clear. It was just like my body needed to release this thing. But I didn't feel, you know how sometimes you'll keep the emotion with you. It was gone. It
You
just
cleared
came
it.
up.
And that's
Yeah.
the Kundalini energy, and that's this year, the snake, the serpent energy, and you can really feel that like Shakti energy rising within us. And then it's like this year, from here on out, it's like sharing our truth, speaking our truth, using our voice, like stepping into our sovereignty. So I love, love, love that.
That
And
was amazing.
okay, well, thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. And then also, we're going to have it all in the show notes, where to find you, your social media, your website, everything. But would you like to tell us here now as well?
Yeah, of course. So my business is Blossom with Feng Shui. So I'm online at blossomwithfengshui.com, and then also on Instagram and Facebook at Blossom with Feng Shui.
So, so beautiful. Oh, thank you for sharing your story, your wisdom, your light, everything with us. Like, so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
Amanda.
you're amazing. And I also want to say to all our listeners, like, I hope that you got inspiration from listening to this just lovely, like when Louise and I were chatting, we're just like, well, we're just going to be having a chat, like talking about it all, like organic, beautiful conversation. And we're going to invite you to listen. So thank you for everyone being here with us. And we hope that we've inspired you and you've picked up some beautiful nuggets and inspiration and simple things you can do around your home. And we'd love to hear from you if you feel that you've implemented new experience shifts. Louise and I would both love to hear from you. And if you feel this would be beneficial to other beloveds in your lives, please feel free to share with them. So thank you, Louise. So amazing chatting with you.
Thank you. This has just been an absolute joy. So really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, love. Thank you.